Good morning, guys. Today is May 18th. I believe it's Thursday. I'm getting my days mixed up, so I apologize about that. I wanted to take a few minutes, do another video about my Tesla. Today I wanted to cover the options that I got with my model. I know that when I was looking for which Tesla I wanted, I did a lot of research online, basically on forums, YouTube videos similar to this, to get an idea of which model I wanted to get, right, as far as the features. So I'll go over the ones that I got. I'll tell you guys why I picked them. Hopefully it's something that might help you guys make that decision as well. I know it took me a little bit to pick one up. So number one, I went with 75D as a model. I looked at the 90D. Definitely didn't look at the 100D because it was completely outside of my price range, but as far as the 90D, I looked at that as well. Biggest concern between the two wasn't really the 0 to 60, because I really don't care about the speed, because the 75D is still pretty quick as far as pickup, so I wouldn't complain there at all, but it was more for distance. I didn't see it a point to pay that extra amount for the 90D due to the fact that I don't really drive too far. If I do have to drive into one of my offices, that's probably the furthest. I would say it's maybe a 60-mile round trip. So I'm perfectly fine with the 75D as far as distance is concerned. I didn't mind getting the 75 as well, because if you look at the two models, the battery life distance isn't that much of a difference. I think it's only 10 miles. The only reason I ended up getting the 75D was because I ended up getting a showroom model. And for the particular features that I wanted, the 75D was the one that had it. There was barely any 75 models for some reason. So the options that I really wanted to go with was air suspension, and I do have it, and the reason is because obviously I ended up getting the model prior to them making the change, because all 75 models now do not offer the air suspension. So if that's something you want, you have to go with a 90D and above. So got the air suspension. I got the upgraded audio. I ended up getting the premium interior seats, which is black on black, so the car's black and leather interior is black as well. I got 21-inch rims, and I also have the panoramic roof, the glass roof, so not the sunroof. Now, the glass roof I didn't really care for. It was just the particular showroom model had it, so I wanted to get, I just ended up getting it. I originally was looking at a solid roof, and the biggest reason is I live in California. It gets really hot here. I was kind of worried about some of the videos that I saw. People were saying that either, cold areas it gets cold, hot areas it might get really hot. They're absolutely right. I think the side windows have a lot to do with it as well, so that's why I got mine tinted. But if you leave the car out for a pretty long time, in California weather, I don't know any other places, that might be hot too, like Vegas, maybe Arizona and so forth, it does get really hot, especially to the touch. So I think that does still warm up the interior a lot. So if I'm outside of the car, I'm at home or in the office or somewhere else, and the car's parked outside, if I check my app, the car gets at about 100 and something degrees inside. So it does get really hot. So I ended up getting it. I have it. It's there, but if I had a choice again, I'd probably go with a solid roof. A lot of people say it makes a huge difference on, I guess there's like a bit of a gap or whatever, so if you're a tall individual, you'll have more room with a glass roof than a solid roof. Honestly, I don't think it makes much of a difference unless you're like Shaquille O'Neal. At that point, with any car, he's going to need something that has a lot of headroom. Because for me, the seats are adjustable, so you could adjust them a little bit lower, recline them back, whatever you need to do for it to be comfortable. So if you can see right now, I have plenty of room. I know it's glass, but still. So that's one thing. As far as premium interior, I think the design of the seats were a little bit different at the time, from premium to the regular. So I think that's one big reason I went with it. It has some additional little features here and there, like it has the docking station for the phone. I use it, but it's not a big deal. All it is just a cable, because I believe the docking station pretty much is always there, the way it looks. Like, it's like a little panel that opens up, so you could always purchase the cable and just plug in your device. What's nice is they do provide you with 2 cables, so you do get one for an Android, you do get one for an iPhone, so depending which one you have. Only problem is the Android cable is an older Android, so for my Google Pixel, for example, I can't use that cable to charge. For my old Galaxy S6 that I still have, actually S7, yeah, that one's still the older ones, I could use that. The iPhone one, I mean, it's still just a regular iPhone charger, so you should be fine with that. So the premium interior is not too big of a difference unless you want some additional features. It does also come, I think, with the biohazard air conditioning or air vents, so that was one other thing, but you know, it doesn't really, oh, unless I'm driving to San Francisco, so on the way there, if anyone's taking that drive from LA, all the little farmland with the cows and sheep and so forth, that, you know, I guess for that reason it's going to be good. I'm totally going to try that out when I'm driving there to see if I get rid of the smell in the car pretty easily. So yeah, back to the options. Audio. So the audio upgrade provides you with additional speakers, and it also gives you a sub. A lot of people notice a huge difference between the two, from the stock to the main one. I never got a chance to sit in a vehicle that didn't have the upgraded to be able to determine the difference between the two. And I like to listen to music. Sometimes I like to, you know, have it blaring pretty loudly. So for me, I was like, you know what, let me get the upgraded model. I did get it, but you know, after a little while, it does get kind of annoying. You're going to turn down the volume. So if you're not an individual that's constantly going to be raising up the volume to specific music, or you know, you're not into music as much, and it's just you want to listen to sports or news, it's probably not worth it. There are a lot of aftermarket options out there too that might be a little bit cheaper. You could go with as far as an upgrade's concerned, but I wanted to just, you know, do that upgrade as well, get the stock Tesla audio upgrade rather than a third party for me. But honestly, you know, if you're not really going to be listening to loud music every day, it's probably not going to make much of a difference. Then there was the air suspension. So for me, it wasn't really as much as the ride quality. I've had cars that have had springs, and honestly, on the 5 freeway in California, doesn't matter how great of a car you have, there's just so much potholes and issues in the freeways and the highways where, I mean, you can probably tell from my video too right now, if it's bouncing, I'm hitting a lot of potholes. So I don't think it makes much of a difference. I'm on the air suspension, I still feel the bumps. It might be a little bit softer in certain instances, which, you know, I'll go into with the 21-inch rims. It might not be a good thing because you want to be able to feel some of these bumps to determine if you're causing an issue for the tires because of the low profiles, or if something's going to happen to the rims. But the main reason I got the air suspension is more for driveways. What's really nice is because Tesla put in the whole GPS capability with the air suspension where it could automatically rise in specific areas. That's really helpful for me. So if I'm going home and I need to pull into the driveway to get into my my garage, it's going to raise up the car. Same if I'm going to my, you know, friend's house, family house, whatever. I could actually put that setting. Whenever I get to that specific area, I can make the car rise up. So it's good with the newer models, because in newer models, the front is a little bit different, which I believe gives it a bit more of a, I guess, lower look, or the front bumper is much closer to the ground than the older model was. So it's a great way to prevent it from scraping. Also, I've noticed in some parking structures where they have the divider in front of the parking space, if you go too close, you're risking sometimes maybe hitting that, depending on how high it is. So the air suspension is great to allow you to kind of raise it up a little bit above it. So that's the biggest reason that I got the air suspension. 21-inch rims for me was just looks. There's nothing else besides that. And then what's really nice is the model that I actually picked didn't come with the 21-inch rims. It came with the original 19. But what happened was I told the salesperson that I really wanted the 21s, and they were nice enough to see that there was another model in the same lot that had the 21s, and they could switch the rims between the models. So if you're looking at getting the 21s, I would highly recommend you trying to do that if you're going to go with the showroom model or new inventory model. and the biggest reason is if you end up purchasing the rims afterwards, it's going to cost you $6,000. Whereas then what they were able to do is get it approved to be part of the actual purchase. So I ended up getting the rims for, I keep saying rims, but it's wheels. So I ended up getting the wheels for $4,500, which is the regular price if you're going to be ordering it with the car when you're placing your order. So that's a good tip, I guess. It did save me that amount of change between the two. So those are the features. Obviously, it's a 2017 model, so it has the advanced autopilot 2. So it's still in beta. It's got much better with the recent update. We're seeing more changes on it and more capabilities. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love the car. I've probably put in, I would say, about 600 miles on it, so I haven't really got to the 1,000-mile mark yet. But I would highly recommend it for anyone that's considering getting a Tesla. If you have any questions on some of the features that I got, and if there's something that I might have left out on the options that you want to get more clarification on, feel free to leave a comment. I'll be happy to respond to your questions. But please like my video, subscribe to the page. I plan on doing more videos down the road. Hopefully I'll do a couple more soon. It's just whenever I get the time and I'm driving, I'll be able to do one. Okay, so don't forget, subscribe. Oh, also, I am going to leave my link on the bottom for a $1,000 referral towards a Tesla. So if you want to save $1,000, just go ahead and click on the link. If it's something that you're not going to do online purchase and you're going to go into the store, you could still take that link with you and provide the information to them. Really simple. They'll be able to determine that it's a referral code from another Tesla owner, and that'll automatically give you $1,000 off your purchase. All right, thanks guys, and look for more videos.